Hey doll friends, it's Rachel. Good morning. Thank you so much for the wonderful conversation that we had yesterday discussing fakes, fantasies, reproductions, things like that. That conversation was meant to empower you and to help you sit well in your journey and in your collecting journey moving forward, so that you can feel really good about your decisions and make educated decisions. And knowledge really is power. So it's like the channel 6 thing, right? The more you know. Here's what happened. So overnight, I received a bunch of emails from people sending me pictures of their dolls. I even received pictures of AM390s, and people were concerned that because of the thin eyebrow that they weren't authentic and things like that. And so I think that a little bit of our conversation, even though I think it was very constructive and a good thing to talk about, I think it made a lot of people paranoid. And that's not what we want to do. We don't want you to feel paranoid as you move forward. And we especially don't want you to feel paranoid about the dolls that you have. So people were sending me pictures of dolls that had been in their collection for 10 years, and they were suddenly questioning them and wondering about them. So we're going to talk to a couple doll ladies who are going to help talk you off your ledge a little bit if you're feeling a little bit paranoid, and have a little discussion with them. We're going to chat with Lucy and with Linda Wall, who had our discussion with us yesterday about the fakes and fantasies. So good morning, ladies. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning. So when I came in today and I told you about what happened, how did that immediately resonate and make you feel?
Lucy?
Well, immediately I'm thinking, but if you've loved a doll for any length of time, if you have had this doll for whatever reason, it shouldn't be questioned now. It's like your second grader turns out not to be Einstein. You don't get rid of your second grader.
Right.
So you want to be sure that you go on with the collection you have, enjoying it like all of us.
Right.
Then what happened yesterday was you're going to be a step ahead when you buy your next doll.
Right.
But
exactly.
if you see a doll that you love and like and it's calling to you, go ahead and get it.
Go ahead and get it.
Regardless of the eyebrows.
Regardless of the eyebrows. We love eyebrows, but yes. And Linda, you were nodding your head yes when Lucy was touching on a few things.
I was. I think the best advice I give my students, and that I was given years ago when I started collecting from Peggy Hightower, which was a horse trainer's wife, was that when you collect a doll, it's because you love the doll. Mm-hmm. It's not because it's French because they made more value. It's because that doll is talking to you.
Right.
And you will, in your endeavors, even when I'm making dolls, when I'm collecting them, I have migrated to Simon and Helbig. I can tell you, if you go into my house, it's Kestner, Simon and Helbig, and China's. So I have studied them. When I first started, just be aware that you have to love that doll. It will call to you, and who cares if for some reason that doll, you love it and you've been taking care of it, and all of a sudden you find out maybe it's not exactly the best one in the block. Who cares? It's just like
right.
If you had a puppy, you wouldn't get rid of that puppy because it had a dock tail.
Right.
And, so love it, but please educate yourself. I think that's the most important thing. You need to educate yourself. And the best way to do that is to join a doll club,
mm-hmm.
UFDC doll club. Read all your magazines that you get from UFDC. Take Antique Doll Collector, read them. Be familiar with these dolls, because once you see these dolls enough, you will start seeing exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly.
And if you have a doll, don't panic.
Mm-hmm.
Because even as an instructor, we tell you, get many pictures of that same doll.
Right.
because they can be painted very differently because the artists were different painting them.
Exactly.
So just because I had one that I'm comparing doesn't mean that yours is wrong. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you had a different artist.
Exactly.
And you see this a lot in the Jamos. You see this, there was a definite, one of them was right-handed. I swear they must have had one person do the right eye and the one do the left eye. Or they painted from left to right. It was their style. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean your doll is not original.
And Lucy, you've done a lot of painting and repair and touching up over the years. You can definitely attest to the irregularities that we see on a daily basis for antique dolls. And sometimes that can be off-putting, can't it?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, of course. It was a different day for one person than it was for another in the factory. These things were factory made. They went through a line. To us, this doll, and it's the only doll in the whole world like it, and so forth and so on. Lots of these dolls went through a factory. Mm-hmm. Now they've become factory.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
And now it's a lot different. We're having this discussion right here because a lot of the dolls that were sent and in question have been in your collections for 5 and 10 and 20 years. Don't worry about those ones. We're in the past. What we want to educate for is moving forward, not what's in the past. So just a quick little story. I helped some friends get a dog, and they were hoping for a certain breed of dog, and I told them that it was this kind of breed of dog, and because I was told that, and then I brought them the dog. And they fell in love with the dog, and the dog is the most wonderful dog on the planet. And then they ran a DNA test and found out that the dog does not even have 1 ounce of the breed that we all thought it had. Not even a little bit. Were they going to give the dog back? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because the dog is love, and love is dolls. Somebody, Marta just said, thank you for clarifying about the painting on each doll. That is really important. Lucy, here, get in the frame. That is really important. And I am standing in front of 2 doll artists, that there are exceptions to every rule.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is one of the reasons why we started in competition. When we have to judge somebody, they have to provide the picture in which from they painted. Because there were so many variations, and you can just the coloring on one doll, like a German doll. I entered a German doll that they said was too highly colored. Well, I had an original at home that matched. So this is one of the reasons. Just because something's a little off doesn't mean anything.
It's wrong. And ladies, what is your advice for somebody that may have watched our program yesterday and is having a moment and maybe standing on the edge of a cliff and having these feelings, because it's really easy to go there. It's so easy to go there. What would you say to somebody that might be in that space today?
Dude, just stop and take a deep breath and take hold of your doll.
Yeah, and keep loving that doll.
Just take hold of your doll that you've seen sitting on the counter, on the couch, on the bed, and just
keep loving it, right?
That's it.
Yeah,
of course.
And a lot of times, just holding that doll and playing with it again, and fluffing it up and make it pretty.
Yeah,
I truly believe in playing with my dolls.
Absolutely.
And if you can, enjoy them for what they are. Just because, if the example is, look at all the people that have a reproduction and they dress it. And look at all the hours they get enjoyment, but it's just reproduction.
Yeah.
But they enjoy that doll just as much as if it was
Of course.
So that's the reason you love dolls. It keeps you young.
It keeps you young. And as Michael Kanata said, dolls are a safe place to play. So the moral of the story is, don't let this stop you. Don't question what you already have. keep going, keep loving what you have, and just know that you're on the right path. We don't want in your future for you to be taken advantage of in an unscrupulous way. So that's why we brought it up. But anything that you already have, just keep enjoying it, keep loving it, keep playing with it, and don't worry about it. We're here to talk you off your ledge and to just keep that love of the doll. We don't want to ever have anyone love their dolls less, because dolls are love. And remember what we talked about this morning. Linda buys dolls for $5 to thousands of dollars, and she buys them because she loves them. She doesn't buy them because of how much they're going to appreciate or how much she could sell it for in a year or 6 months. When you buy dolls solely for that reason, that's the wrong reason to buy dolls. We buy them, and our payback, our investment, is the amount of love and enjoyment that we get out of them every single day. Can you guys think of very many things that, besides like animals, that you can really just get like total enjoyment out of every single day?
No, because between the horses and the dogs, there's nothing that doesn't betray you like them.
Right.
Oh no! Like
Our dolls never betray us.
They don't.
or like a special little teacup that's beautifully painted.
Yes,
and
teacups.
you find out that it was not what you were told, that it was some kind of special Wedgwood or Limoges or something like that. It's still, my tea still stays just as good.
Exactly. Your tea is still just as good.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you guys. And if this conversation resonated with you, please share it and add your comments. We're always looking at the comments. So ladies, I appreciate it. We're going to go back to doing doll stuff now.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.